When did you first become enamored with the Ramones, or when you become interested in them?
Always Times Square.
As far back
That's
as when you were a kid?
Yes, when I saw the Robert Stigwood movie Times Square, which was supposed to do for punk rock what it did for disco or something. That's what I'm told. It's like the inner workings. And long story short, there's this scene where she's wandering around the mental hospital, like they're trying to commit her, but she's just a rebel, you know, and she's playing the Ramones really loud in all the nurses' stations at, 24 hours to go. And I was like, who is that? What is that? I love that. And then I went to see the Ramones at the old Ritz, which is now, of course, Webster Hall. And I was about 14 or 15. I remember I was standing on a chair, and like somebody asked me if I was related to Joey Ramone, because the fact is, I really look like her. I mean,
yes, she does.
There's a resemblance, I see.
I mean, that's like saying, I look like Uncle Fester. I mean, which is a cool look. And I personally always thought that Joey Ramone was really hot. Like, I saw Rock and Roll High School, and I was like, he's tall, he's pale,
Suzanne, what do you think?
She actually met his mother and Joey Ramone himself. This is a true story. I should tell you more about it.
Did you also meet them as well?
No.
Would you have liked to?
Sure.
And you want to tell us, now that Suzanne brought it up, a little bit more about that story? That would be an interesting one for sure.
Okay, well, there was a bar. I think it was probably very near Webster Hall. It was right in the East Village. And I was way too shy. Like I told you I am. I don't do the things that she does.
With him, though.
But something possessed me. I saw Joey's mom in the deli after I'd seen them play. And I went right up to her and I said, hi, Mrs. Ramone, you raised a fine boy, or something like that. And she goes, I raised two fine boys. That's what she said. And that was Mickey Lee. And then who would know that 20 years later,
she played with
not only would I played the ribbon cutting ceremony of the Ramones exhibit in Queens. And his brother Mickey Lee. He asked Jenny to borrow his guitar, and he played at our show.
Amazing. Suzanne, just for the record, is there a place where people can order your book today that people should know about?
Yes, well, it's being updated, but they could still order it. It's on Amazon.com, and just search for Just for the Record, Suzanne Rothberg, Confessions and Interviews by a Suburban Journalist. And it's exclusive. It's available exclusively on Amazon right now, but I'm trying to make it available to other outlets like Barnes and Noble. I have to get a separate ISBN number for them.
And Patti, how about Patti Ramone, your book? How can people buy the book, and what information can you give them in terms of ordering it?
What?
You sell them at your gigs as well.
At the gigs?
Yeah, always at gigs. I bring all the books.
Yeah.
The most important part of this whole thing is the synchronicity aspect of it, because I did a photo shoot with my friend Jill, just off the top of my head. I'm like, I have an idea.
You think Jill would be a good guest too?
Jill's great. Jill's brilliant.
Oh, good.
She's a photographer. Her
Wonderful.
father, I worked for him for like 10 years.
See if you can set it up. All
right.
Great. Well, what did you like most about working with Jill?
She's one of my closest friends, and she also sort of goes along with, like, she believes in me, so she just will go along with my ideas. And that's why my co-author, Richard Carroll, this whole book started because he called me up and he said, hey, I'm a fan of the Blue Oyster Cult and you. I was like,
you got some great stuff.
I remember the lead singer's name. It's Eric Bloom.
Eric Bloom.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Now, Suzanne, Timeless Legends of the 60s, 70s, and early 80s, Chapter 7 of your book, covers my interviews with timeless legends, Jerry Beckley.
Of America.
Dewey Bunnell.
Yeah. Jerry Bunnell, yeah.
Yeah, the Yardbirds.
Jim
John
McCarty.
Right, and John McPhee.
Yes.
And the Doobie Brothers and others.
Yeah,
So what would you like to share with us about some of this great chapter 7?
Well, I enjoyed talking to John McPhee of the Doobie Brothers. He was a very interesting interview.
And what made it interesting? Do you recall?
Just that he mentioned that his band won an award. I think it was, I forget what kind of, if it's country music or something, or I don't know.
And who's your favorite rock singer, Suzanne? Do you have one?
It was definitely Justin Hayward of the Moody Blues at the time, and also Jeff Lynne. And I dedicated my book to both of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now that they're rock and roll Hall of Fame legends.
And Patti, who is your favorite rock singer growing up, and who is your favorite rock singer today?
Probably Joey Ramone, I guess. I mean, I have to
Naturally.
thank him. I have more fun singing and sort of, pretending to be Joey Ramone than I do my own gigs, because he was such a character, and he was he was very tall and had a lot of stature, and like his lyrics, though perhaps not Shakespeare, like
right.
they are genius. I mean, they're so funny. They all like. There's now that I know them really well, they're like.
So tell us about one particular one of those lyrics. Could you share one?
Okay, I'm gonna share one that this is Jill's favorite song. It's called Happy Family, which is of course named after the surf and turf, I think, of the Chinese restaurant.
Cool.
Sitting here in Queens, eating refried beans. We're in all the magazines, gulping down Thorazine. We ain't got no friends. Our troubles never end. No Christmas cards to send. Daddy likes men.
I love it.
Now that is genius.
Yeah, but you got so many great genius things.
I mean, I could have quoted any Ramones song and been just
How about
as
Forgive
happy.
Forgive Me up against the
My own lyrics?
wall. Yeah, anything you want to share about those particular?
Well, believe it or not, Forgive Me was in a Parker Posey movie that I think went straight to DVD.
The Misadventures of Margaret.
And how about Out of My Mind?
Out of My Mind, I remember writing.
Do you remember that well?
Yes.
Oh, what do you remember most about it?
That it was a simple blues progression, and it was sort of a tribute to the two guys that I played with in the subway. That I'm kind of like, I'm known for the girl that busked in the subway, and then like, woo, all of a sudden she got on Leno. I mean, there were a few things that happened.
What show would you like to get on if you could be on any television show tomorrow, Suzanne Rothberg? What show would that be? Do you know? Do you have one in mind?
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon. Oh, that's one of the greats of the greats.
Yeah.
Now, if you could flip the clock back some time ago, would you have wanted to go on the Johnny Carson show?
Yeah, if I was around. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
Time. Like, if you had another book to write, what would that be, Suzanne? Do you
Yeah,
have something in
it'll
mind?
probably be a sequel to this book called Just for the Record.
And you will
2.
write that, I know that.
I will write
You
that.
will.
I want to see how this does first, and it's called Just for the Record 2, The Other Side. And that's a little different than this book. It's not just musicians. I will feature actors.
And what would you like to say about not only what interests you about this book and the energy and the energy that went into writing the book, but what else would you like to leave us with tonight and this morning, wherever you happen to be, about your great book?
Well, it's very, I think it's a must read, because I started out very young at 16 years old, and I was like a prodigy. I knew how to get the artist, I knew how to get the guest or the information, and I had a vision and I had a dream where I knew I could do this.